Kia ora and welcome to our very final module at Business Better for 2023, our very first year. Fittingly, we're talking about no-nonsense resolutions. I know a lot of you have probably already planned what you're going to achieve next year. Hopefully you've created your plan on a page. But I think December is the perfect time for reflection because we are all sort of a little bit over this year, we're all a little bit tired, we're all looking forward to the new year. It's the perfect time to think about what matters most to you and your business, the values that drive you, the impact you want to have, and then let's use these reflections to set meaningful goals now and avoid the January overwhelm where you need to change everything about you, your business, and everything else. But most importantly, I want us to do it in a way that's grounded in reality, targeting progress over perfection. Running a business is challenging enough. We don't need the added pressure of unrealistic New Year's resolutions. So we're going to discuss some strategies for straightforward, no-nonsense resolutions and ignore the January hype. The key is, of course, ensuring that your resolutions are not only achievable, but they align with your core values and business objectives, and ensuring that we start the new year on a strong, focused, and positive note. Because I don't know about you, but all I'm seeing at the moment is a whole bunch of entrepreneurs who are like, I've tried something for 3 months and it's not worked. I'm not a millionaire. I've not set the world on fire. I'm going to try something completely new. And I get that way of thinking. I understand, but that is not how you become successful. Consistency is everything. So let's start reflecting on the past year. Ask yourself, what has gone well? What hasn't gone well? What lessons have I learned? This isn't about tallying successes and failures. We want to go a bit deeper than that, but it's about gaining insights that inform your future actions. It's simply doing a review on what did and didn't work. Because why would you carry on wasting energy on things that didn't? Or maybe you would try it again, but in a different way. Maybe you found a new niche that responded really well to your product, or perhaps a marketing strategy didn't work as well as expected. It's really important to go back and reflect on things so that you can make informed, impactful resolutions. What's also really key though is if something did fail, dig into why. If something was successful, why? We will often make a lot of assumptions about things, and often those assumptions are completely wrong and therefore lead to bad decision making. So before you say, that didn't lead to a 400% uplift in sales, therefore it's a failure, was it? Have a look into it a little bit more deeply than that. Another thing to consider is the challenges that you faced. So were they external challenges? Like in 2020, we all had quite a large external challenge. Was these challenges caused by some of your internal processes? Did a decision or a strategy you had lead to an unexpected success? Understand nuance because this will help you set more targeted and effective goals. As an entrepreneur, typically you will reflect on all the things that went wrong, but it's really important you applaud yourself and your team for all the things that went right. And then have a think about yourself as an entrepreneur. How has your leadership style evolved? Your decision making, your resilience? Do you feel tougher? Do you feel more confident? Or do you feel less confident? Having a really good assessment of the year gives you a really comprehensive foundation for setting goals. So now you have your reflections, and this should take you a couple of days to do on and off, not 48 hours of constant work, but on and off, have a good think about it. So now you probably know what aspects of your business you need to focus on, what aspects of yourself you need to focus on. And remember to focus on the ones that will have the greatest impact on your success. This can be anything from customer service improvements to ramping up your marketing efforts to, if it's not going well, changing your product. And the key is to remember it's not about fixing everything at once. That is an excellent way to break everything and burn out. Choose one or two, maybe, key areas that will make the most difference and prioritize what you can do. Be honest about what you can realistically achieve. A lot of the problems with, of course, New Year's resolutions is that people go, you know what, I'm going to do everything all at once because I want to be perfect right now. That doesn't work. Consider your resources, your time, the current market conditions, your team. For example, if a customer has highlighted the need for a better service, could you implement new training for your team or introduce a customer feedback system? If your product line needs extension or people are asking for something else, can you consider the feasibility of developing new products within a given time frame, or is it not doable? Prioritization is about making strategic choices that will bring the most significant benefits to your business and your customers within the resource constraints that you have. A resolution is a goal, right? And therefore it needs to be specific and measurable. We've all heard of SMART goals. Vague goals like improve marketing, make team happier, sell more, they're not enough. Instead, set really detailed objectives, like I'm going to increase social media engagement by 20% by Q2, or I'm going to launch a new product by Q3. They are specific, measurable targets that give you a really clear direction and make it easier to track progress, whether you've actually done the thing, and therefore whether that thing's actually useful to your business. So when setting these goals, use the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If we use the old example, I want to increase sales. A SMART goal would be something like, I want to increase sales by 15% in the next 6 months through targeted online marketing and expanding our product line. It's specific and measurable, both which are crucial for making resolutions that are not just aspirational and drive you forward, but also concrete and trackable, so you can celebrate that success. Or if it doesn't work, you can find out why. The key here also is that this makes these goals easier to break down into smaller actionable steps. If you have watched anything I've ever made about goals, what is my favorite saying? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You need to be realistic. It's great to have ambitious long-term plans, and I have read so many IMs, investment memorandums, where entrepreneurs are saying, you know what, we're doing 3 million now, but we're going to do 75 million next year. It's not really probably achievable, is it? And your resolutions should be. They should be something that's ambitious and that you work towards, but they should be achievable. If you're new to a platform like TikTok, starting with 3 posts a week is more manageable than aiming for daily content. Daily content's really hard. Set goals that challenge you, but are actually within your capacity to achieve, and you will probably overestimate that to begin with, and that's okay. You'll learn. Breaking big resolutions into smaller actionable steps is crucial. How do you eat an elephant? So if you want to launch a new website as your new goal, break it down to tasks like choose a domain, design the homepage, create the content, choose the platform, so on. And another good idea here is to set monthly or quarterly milestones to keep you on track. So that way you can tick things off on your to-do list, which is such a good feeling, and it helps you maintain momentum and accountability if there are other people relying on you. If your goal is to improve customer service, maybe you start by implementing a new feedback system in Q1, you train staff in Q2, and then you review the impact of that in Q3. This step-by-step approach makes the goal way more manageable mentally, but also allows for adjustments as you go along as feedback and results comes in. My favorite tool is a plan on a page. I think we all know this now. So keep your plan on a page close as you set these resolutions, because one should lead to the other. You need to ensure your resolutions align with your business's vision, mission, and purpose. Setting deadlines is often overlooked and kind of feels a bit foreign sometimes, but it's really actually helpful for turning resolutions into reality. If you say, I'm going to create a new website, you probably never will. If you say, I'm going to create a new website by March, chances are you will. But make sure those timelines are realistic, because it prevents that sense of stress and urgency, which leads to procrastination. Accountability is key to sticking to your resolutions, and this is why a lot of New Year's resolutions fail, other than the fact that people have decided they will do everything all at once. So share them with a business partner, a mentor, put them on the Business But Better community. Will hold you accountable in a nice way, of course. Regular check-ins can provide motivation, and they also provide support to keep you on track. If you're having a bad day and you've done nothing, that's fine. We all have those. But if you're having a bad week and you need someone to give you a little bit of a giddy up or a supportive comment, we can do that too. Consider setting up monthly review meetings to assess your progress, address challenges you might be coming up against, or celebrate successes, because we never do that enough. This regular accountability can be a really powerful motivator and help you stay focused on those goals. You can also use project management software or goal tracking software, whatever works for you. I personally like the personal touch, but some people love apps. It's like gamifying the system, I suppose. As I say in so many of my modules, you need to be prepared to be flexible. Business is dynamic, shall we say, and your resolutions will probably need to adapt. The things I wrote in my bucket list for 2023, some of them are no longer relevant, and that's fine. So if a strategy isn't working, or circumstances change, or a massive opportunity has come up that is aligned to your end goal, be flexible. Be ready to revise those goals while keeping your overall vision in mind. You need to focus on what matters most, and it's always outcomes. It's really easy to get overwhelmed with a long list of resolutions, so instead choose a few. Choose the critical ones that will lead to the most change and dedicate your best efforts to them. Don't have 20. Involve your team and customers, because they will provide really valuable perspectives. You can see me doing this with Incredibles all the time. Your team will have massive insights that you don't have into operational efficiencies or customer service stuff or market insights. And similarly, customer feedback will guide product development or service enhancements, or they're just there to celebrate your achievements. And talking about celebrating your achievements, you need to do that too. And it's something so many entrepreneurs I know are really bad at. I'm really bad at it, because you always feel like you have something to chase. But celebrating what you've already accomplished is really important, because it establishes that positive foundation for tackling new challenges. It helps you develop confidence and persistence. Celebrating small wins along the way isn't arrogant or egotistical. It boosts morale. It keeps you and your team motivated. Whether it's a team lunch to celebrate hitting a target, or a personal reward for completing a challenging task, like a tough conversation, acknowledging these milestones is really crucial for maintaining enthusiasm and momentum. So celebrate yourself, celebrate your team. Okay, so now that we've explored the essentials of setting these no-nonsense resolutions, it's your turn to take action. I really encourage you to carve out some time this week or next, sit down, reflect on the past year. Use the insights and strategies I've just mentioned to craft your own set of resolutions, but not thousands of them, don't forget. They need to be smart. They need to resonate with you, align with your business's core values and objectives. And don't just think it, ink it. Write these resolutions down, make them visible, write them on a wall, share them with someone who will hold you accountable. Again, it can be a mentor or a colleague, a friend, the BBB community, whatever. But sharing your journey with someone can make all the difference. We are all in this together, and the only way we will change the world is if we change business. So I cannot wait to see the incredible things that you will achieve in 2024. So if we end this year with clarity and purpose and step into the new year ready to turn our resolutions into realities.